Hey guys, Supalum here. Today I'm going to be picking this Schlage Everest Primus, and here, there it is. Here is the bitting, both the sidebar and the main pin stack. Focus. It is an interchangeable core, so I will have to use the key to pull it out after. But the tolerances on this are absolutely amazing. The 2 months I was playing with this was all just trying to learn the main pin stack. Took me less than a couple of days to get a handle on the finger pins. So let's see if I can get this on camera for you guys. Nope, well, we're setting a bunch of stuff. There. Okay, so main stack is done. I'm going to use my custom tool again, which I've shaved down ever so slightly more to work on the finger pins. Feels like 3. And I'll explain what I'm doing after I pick it. Okay, I felt like it's set. That's 5. That's set. You guys heard it click on that one. Sometimes they don't always give clicks. I think he said as well. That was 1. Might have overset 1. Oh, there we go. Open. That was a lot faster than I intended. Okay, so there it is. Open. I will lock it back up, and I'm just going to move the camera down first. Move that out of the way, and there's the core key. Okay, get that body out of the way, don't need it anymore. Never gutted this one either, so it's going to be a bit of a trick. Actually, I'm going to take this key off of the key ring. Okay. Got all my picks and stuff out of the way here. I really do need to get one of these. Oh, keep in frame. One of these tools for Schlags, so we don't have to worry about this anymore. Follower. That one's too big. There we go. That one. Yeah, I'll do it. Okay. Should be all standard pins, so I shouldn't need a shim. Pins are up. There's the sidebar. I did get this used from somebody else here in Ontario, so it doesn't surprise me that there's anodized key pins as replacements in there. So here is the sidebar. And this time my camera battery isn't dying, so I can get in depth with these, with this gut. There's the springs, which I'll just I'll dump out, or not. There's one spring, and I should just be able to use this hook to get this out. There's the other spring. And here are all of the finger pins. I'll get the key pins out now. And there's all the finger pins. I will make a separate video on the differences I find between the Everest Primus and the Primus. I don't think there's any difference, but I haven't found a single video on YouTube stating otherwise. So I don't actually think there is a comparison between the two. So I figured why not. There's the half pin for the removable core portion. So focus on this again here, maybe. So, key's been removed. There's all the finger pins. That was the spring from the other one. These holes are much, much bigger for the finger pins. I'm also curious to see the damage I've done to the finger pins just from the constant picking that they've gone through. Because when I originally started, I only had the Everest Primus. I never had the original Primus Mortis. So I tried what everyone else did, and I was raking with a short hook. And I wasn't getting any luck out of that. So I slowly developed a feel for the finger pins, and I'm quite enjoying them. I'm still enjoying picking them a lot more than a Medico. I would probably keep this in my backpack and pick on my off hours just because of how fun it actually is. Okay. So there it is, fully gutted. Oh, I don't want to lose that. Okay, I'll leave that on there like that. But there it is, the Schlage Everest Primus, picked and gutted. I gotta zoom in on the pins. I will be doing a side-by-side video, like I said, another time, now that I have this all gutted. So, nothing really too special with the main pin stack. It's all standard pins. But the real magic is the finger pins. No false gates, but They do an awesome job picking. I'm just going to quickly assemble one of the finger pins just to revise how I was picking, SPPing, more specifically, the finger pins, as opposed to everyone else who rakes them. So, just like before, used my special tool, and even though this keyway looks like there's a lot of room, again, it barely allows for that pick to be in there to play. So, go in, find the finger pin, and you'll feel it binds. So I'll give each finger pin a little test. So I'll give it a little tap. If it has a little bit of spring pressure pushing back, then that's no problem. It feels nice and loose, just like a standard key pin when you're picking the standard stacks. And then once you get to the binding pin, you'll push it, and it will have quite a lot of resistance depending on how much tension you're putting onto that onto the core. So I'll push on it, and if I feel a little bit of it move, and I'll feel it a little bit grind on the tension wrench just like before, but I'll feel the amount of pressure it takes to move that pin. That's my binder. Probably much like you would find a binder with dimple picks. I would then rotate my pick, either way doesn't matter, and push the pin away from me, and it would sit there. So the pin will sit like that. I will find the binder, and I will push the pin away from me, and then I will push it back up just a little bit, because I have it generally memorized how far I have to rotate my pick in order to get that pin to the right height. And then at that point, I will take my pick. Just want to reorient here. I'll take my pick, and I will then go underneath the pin, hook under it without pushing it up, and pull it towards me. And the amount of pressure I use for tension is enough for when I grab that pin and pull, and at that height that it's set to, that it should be anyway, it will fall into the proper gate orientation, and the sidebar will drop into place for that pin. And then I'll move along and find the next binder. In this case, as far as I can tell, it did kind of come down the line, but I don't think I picked, I think it was 3 but it was already straight. So I just gave it a little tap, and it pretty well clicked into spot when I was testing moving down the line. So as I went through that, I believe that was the one that I didn't really have to touch. As for how much damage is actually on the finger pins, I'm quite curious, because my other ones didn't show any real sign. There does appear to be a little wear, but the lock as a whole works no problem still. So there it is, the Schlage Everest Primus, picked and gutted, well within the 2 minutes. So that's probably the fastest I've ever picked that. Thanks for watching.